Monitoring spirits or just monitoring people? Monitoring spirits or just monitoring people? So this has been a hot topic for about the past few months on social media about monitoring spirits and a lot of conversation around it about what it is, signs that you have monitoring spirits. And I really wanted to approach this in a different angle from what I've been hearing, not to discredit what has been said, because a lot of the information that I've heard has really opened up my understanding of monitoring spirits. And by the way, my name is Shantae. I am the founder of Creatives Unbox, where our mission is to help creatives win where other people quit. And here at Creatives Unbox, we give the game away. We give wisdom away so that you can use your creativity and impact the world. But you have to understand that as a creative person, there's a lot that comes with it. So you have to be able to navigate the reality of the world. And I wish when I was growing up that someone really taught me the game. So because I didn't have someone to sit me down and give me game and show me how the world really operates, I had to go through a lot of situations. I have to, when they say you don't look like what you've been through, I can really say that I don't look like what I've been through. And I feel like all the situations that I've gone through, I made it my mission that I'm going to tell my stories. I'm going to empty out all the wisdom that I have to help other creatives to win, to succeed, to not be overtaken by jealousy and envy, to not be overtaken by competition, to not be overtaken by their own mental, health. So stay locked in. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I'm telling you, I'm going to start unpacking a lot of wisdom that you can use. So we're talking about monitoring spirits, right? So the talk online is that monitoring spirits are people that secretly watch you and they're studying your life and they're trying to block you spiritually. And excuse me. And instead of dismissing that conversation, I really do want to approach this different. So in 2026, you don't need spirits to be monitored. You need a social media account. In 2026, you don't need spirits to be monitored. You need a social media account. So think about the type of world that we live in, right? We live in the algorithm era, right? We live in an era that the searchable era. We live in the silent follower era. We live in the story view era. So what does this mean? This means that people can instantly track your moves. All they need is your name. They can just put your name in a search engine, and then your all videos and comments attached to your name will show. So your moves can be tracked. Your patterns can be tracked. People can see who you collaborate with. They can see who you hang out with, right? They can see who likes your content. They can follow your timing. So what the older generations would have called spiritual monitoring is what we now call analytics. Let me say that again. What older generations might have called spiritual monitoring is what we now call analytics. And I'm talking more so to the creatives, and why you're going to feel this more, the quote unquote monitoring spirits, is because creatives, and especially if you're a social media content, a content creator, you're going to post your ideas. Your life is more open. You're going to share your progress. You're going to announce partnerships. You're going to publicize your wins. You're going to reveal your location. You're going to share your routines. And basically what you're doing is you are literally publishing your blueprint. Like, you're literally publishing your blueprint. And some social media content makers, this is how they get their views and they make their money. They have to share, or they don't have to, but they decide to share their lives. They do, the vlogs, and, they talk about the restaurants. If they're a food blogger, they post the restaurants they go to. If they do fitness content, they post their workouts, they post the gym that they go to. You can clearly see the name of the gym in the background, and you can easily just Google what gym they go to. you reveal your location. So it's a lot of sensitive information that is being made public. How many stories have we heard of someone revealed their location and next thing you know, their ops showed up and tried to unalive them? Like how many stories, and they actually succeeded. How many stories have we seen? They posted their location on Facebook, they posted they went live on IG, next thing you know, they're unalived. And what does that say? It says that you never know who is watching you. You wouldn't think your ops are watching you, but those are the main ones watching your moves. They're studying you, they're revealing locations, they're waiting for opportunity to get proximity to you so they can do whatever, their plan is in their mind. Right? So what happens is if someone knows your next move before you make it, you're not being monitored spiritually. You're overexposed strategically. I like how even Kendrick Lamar, notice Kendrick Lamar, he's smart because he knows his ops. He knows who he's dealing with. So you rarely see him. When's the last time, or have you ever seen Kendrick Lamar go live on social media? He barely posts. He'll post like a picture or two to promote like a tour, but you never really see him posting content about his life. Do you know what he likes to do? Do you really know anything about Kendrick Lamar? And I'm talking about, for those who don't know, Kendrick Lamar is the rapper. Because he understands, especially the big rap beef that he had, that he has many ops. So he has to move strategically. He's not on live talking about he's at this club or he's in a certain city, right? You may see like on tour, like where he is, because that's a part of his business and he has heavy security, but you don't see him just announcing his routines. You may hear like some of it in his music, but you don't see him like, hey y'all, I'm at the park today, I'm running my miles. Like you don't see that. You don't publish your blueprint, right? Because you don't want to overexpose yourself strategically. And this is the world we live in. And you may have heard this before, but it's a good idea to keep hearing these things and keep putting them before you, because how many times do we hear the same story about people being hurt, people being taken advantage of, people losing money, people being stolen from? We hear the same stories over and over. And if you go back to the root of it, is that you overexposed yourself strategically to the wrong people, whether you knew it or not, right? So the real risk in all of this is being predictable. So monitoring isn't really the issue. It's just your predictability is. Because if people can predict where you are, what you're building, who you're working with, when you're launching, your patterns, it's so easy. I'm telling you, it's so easy to study. It's so easy to compete with you. It's so easy to mirror you. It's so easy to intercept your plans. I recall a story. I'm telling you, like, I recall a story on TikTok where this guy left like some kind of comment on some girl's post that she didn't like. And he said something, I forgot what he said exactly, but she didn't like his comment. When I tell you, just from social media, she found out where he was and she pulled up on him just to tell him, basically give warning shots like, look how easy I rolled up on you. Be careful what you post on social media, right? Like it's so easy to find people on social media because they give up so much information, right? And you never know who's watching you. That's why I say, like, even when you're on live, like, be careful what you're saying. And if you live alone, don't let people know that you live alone. If you move to a city by yourself, don't let people know you're by yourself. Like, little things you have to be mindful of, because this is the world that we live in. And if you're going to expose something, you have to expose it with strategy, right? Because exposure without strategy, it really creates vulnerability. And you have to protect what you're building. You really have to protect what you're building, especially if you have motion, especially if you have momentum. I talked about that in the previous video about how people will study your moves so they can manufacture proximity to you and get your blueprint. And they come in with admiration. They come in, they try to come in and make you laugh and feel like they're just so funny. And they come in with these tactics because they want to take your spot. They want to use your momentum to take your spot or to get rid of you altogether. And this is the world that we live in. And you have to, I'm telling you, do a search on TikTok and look at all the stories of people who are no longer here because they thought they had friends, but the friends left them for unalive. You know what I mean? So the strategy is you have to, especially if you're going to, if you're using your life as content, you have to go about it. You have to go about it strategically. You have to be smart. Yes, I'm not saying don't be a social media content maker. And this isn't even just a social media content maker. Just if you have motion overall, people are going to watch you because you're visible. People are curious. People want to get close to you. So you have to throw people off. And this is strategy. This is not to fear, but you have to throw people off. The main thing you have to do is delay your announcements. Delay your announcements. Post things after it's complete. Post after the movement, not before. Don't tell people, hey y'all, I'm about to buy a Benz. I'm about to buy this. Like, post the car after. I would suggest not posting the car. But if this is a part of your branding, showing luxury and all of that, that's a whole nother video actually. But you want to delay your announcements when it's finalized, because when you delay the announcements, no one can mess up what's already finished, what's already done. No one can mess up what you've already done. So you want to separate the process from presentation, right? So don't show people your blueprint. Just share the results. Like, don't tell people your full routines. I know, don't give your full routines. Even, I'm telling you, when I get in shape, well, I'm already in shape, but when I get my dream body, I'm not telling everybody everything that I've done. I'm going to give vague answers. Why? Because people are listening. They're trying to compete with you. They're trying to take your spot. Maybe like close friends that are trusted, like I'll share my process, but overall, because people will try to throw you off, right? And distract you. But I'm telling you, just even in the little things, people are trying to compete with you. So you have to separate your process from your presentation. So share your results. Do not give your whole blueprint away of how you built your business unless they're paying you. Like Kim Kardashian, I know she did like a master class on branding and stuff like that. And I'm sure she probably only shared like 50% of what she's done, because I would say with the Kardashians, her mother is a marketing genius. They understand psychology, and really marketing is psychology. And they understand that people are full of lust. They understand that people are visual. They understand, I mean, just look at the foundation of how they built their brand. They built their brand off of a illicit tape, right? And you would think that, people would shame that and be like, oh my God, why are we supporting this? But that was the foundation of building $1 billion brand, because they know that people are full of lust. And if you appease people's lust, they'll buy into whatever you're selling, right? So I know that Kim, they're not sharing the whole blueprint, but I can definitely see. So with that being said, you want to rotate your public rhythm. So you don't want your patterns to be based in real time. Throw off your routine. Even when I go to the gym, I'm learning, I throw off my routine. Like if I can go a different time of the day, like I try not to be predictable, because I notice there are certain guys there, and I pay attention at the gym because guys will watch you. I remember one time this guy basically followed me around the gym and didn't think I noticed. Like I would go to a machine far off in the corner. Then all of a sudden he's right at the machine next to me. Then I would go all the way across to the other side of the gym. And then all of a sudden he's all the way over on the other side of the gym. And I just kind of gave him this look like, what the F are you doing? And then I went to a higher place up in the gym. But I noticed that he was following me. So you know what I did? I switched up my gym routine. So I stopped going at that time that I knew he would be there because he was predictable. And I just switched up my routine. So people, if they have plans and plots, they can't keep up with me. And so another thing you want to do is you want to limit logistical exposure, right? It limits your logistical exposure. I don't know what's up with people showing their cars with the license plates, especially if the license plate has like a unique name on it. I'm like, why are you showing that? Right? You want to limit people knowing how you travel, what you're traveling in, your traveling routine, meetings that you go to, if you go to a particular, even like if you go to a dance class, like you have to be careful of posting your dance class because people can easily, normally dance classes, they have their branding in the background. You can see the name of the dance class and you can kind of, depending on the teacher, you can determine what time that class was. You can just look on the schedule and you can just see what class they go to and someone can just pop up on you. Right. So you have to kind of throw off your strategy. And it really is about the information that you put out there. Think about it when you post on social media. Why are you posting this? And what information are you giving? And is this the type of information you want people to know? Right. So you want to stop narrating your growth while building it. And you want to let silence build momentum. So be careful what you post because privacy is a strategy. It's not secrecy. Privacy is a strategy, not secrecy. And so when you grow in attention, when you grow, you should be growing. And as your name gets bigger, as your videos start to go viral, as your brand starts to get bigger, attention is going to increase, right? Observation is going to increase, questions increase. This is what comes with fame. This is what comes with visibility. So attention doesn't automatically mean spiritual warfare or curses or energy attacks. It just simply means that you're visible. And when you become more visible, more eyes are going to be on you. More people are going to be curious about you. More people are going to see how they can get proximity to you. So visibility feels like surveillance when you're not prepared for it. Visibility feels like surveillance when you're not prepared for it. Now, let me say this too. You do have people from your past that are watching you. You have family members that you cut off that continue to watch your page secretly, right? You have people who are watching you because they want to see you fail. And that's the reality of it. They want to know they're in this secret competition with you and they want to see if your life got better after you got rid of them or they got rid of you, vice versa, right? So you have people who are monitoring you. But I wanted to actually give you a different perspective than what's been talked about because that's relevant too. But just know that we are in an algorithm error. We are in an algorithm error. So the thing is, you don't have to fear being watched. You just have to move intelligently. And the more visible you become, the more intentional you need to be. Right? So not everything is spiritual. Some things are just strategic. And you have to know that this is what comes with the territory. And if you're creative, I encourage you to protect yourself, protect what you're building, to move with such strategy. I would even suggest that if you can, every week, study psychology. Listen to something on psychology, read something on psychology, so you can really see how people think and how people move. And you would think that people would just mind their business and we just go on with our lives. But no, people are dealing with real mental issues. People are dealing with trauma. People are dealing with insecurities. And, you triggering them because you're growing. You have motion. People just respond out of their traumas. And this is what we're dealing with in the world. So you have to understand that. So if I can encourage you is just to study as much psychology as you can so that you can navigate this world with such a finesse about you and you can just live your best life. All right. Talk to you later.